And welcome inside the John M. Humpson Center for the 2022 5A State Tournament. Dusty Litster and Dane Stewart of Game Night Live Rewind with you. Our matchup in this first one, Bonneville and Alta. And Dane, before we get to that, it's a special day today. Yeah. Not only is it game one of the tournament, it's also the 10th birthday of my oldest daughter, Reagan. Happy birthday, Reagan. She's going on a cruise. Now let's get to the game. We're underway. First game of 28 of the week, Dane. Alta, you picked him in the 5A bracketology. This team has come on really well under first-year head coach Travis Horn.
Yeah, this has been a group that, Dusty, they are scoring in bunches. And you look at a guy like Jaxon Heiden and Jaxon Johnson. Heiden, a senior, Johnson, a sophomore, both 6'7" and above. They both have the ability to stretch the floor outside, and they can be really active inside in the block. It's going to be a tough matchup for Bonneville to deal with tonight because it's an aspect they haven't dealt with much.
Yeah, and then we take a look at the Bonneville Lakers. Carson Jones, the leading scorer, he's going to have that kind of game today. He averages around 15 points a game. He's going to be that guy in order for Bonneville to go after Alta.
Yeah, he's going to have to, and he's going to have to stay out of foul trouble, going to have to stay on the floor. You're talking about a guy averaging 15 points a game. He's a monster on the glass. He's really good defensively. He can step out as well, but he's got a little more physicality to his game. He has to stay on the floor here for Bonneville. If these two teams had matched up a year ago, Dusty, I'd probably say first to 40. Today, it's got to be first to 55, maybe first to 60. They both can score. They're going to have to because these offenses are going to put a lot of pressure on the opposing defenses.
Well, it's the road to Provo. Remember, we're starting here at the Huntsman Center until Thursday. We pack our bags and we go down to the Marriott Center on Saturday, and the road starts right now. First game of 28 of the week. We're so glad you're along with us. Let's go down to the floor, get ready for this one. Bonneville and Alta in the quarterfinals of the 5A State Tournament as you are watching the Game Night Live Rewind coverage of the 2022. If you want to win Dane Stewart over, have mobile bigs that cause matchups, a big point guard, but then go with the script.
The script, that's really the key, right? I mean, when I pick state champions, I look for good logos. And I've been a fan of the script since I was 4 years old, Dusty. I'm not abandoning it now, and it is a good look.
It is a good look. And tell you what else is a good look is Dan Barney getting everyone jacked and ready to go. Our good buddy. So we're set to go and we're underway. Here are the quarterfinals of the Huntsman Center. Had to win 2 games to get here. And it's Jet Lundberg up top. Lundberg comes off the screen. That's Roberts now on the angle with Jaxon Johnson. That was Heiden now along the baseline. Lundberg blocked from behind. Great job of coming over and getting the block was Caleb Nielsen. In transition, Carson Jones sends out for 3, and it is Beau Dixon.
You know, we talked in the opening about Carson Jones, Beau Dixon averaging 9. There's a lot of other scores. Beau averaging 11, Tesh and Williams both in that 9 range. This Bonneville team, they're known for their defense, but they do have good scoring ability, and to get that versatility going is going to be important.
Lundberg trying to find that one into Heiden. That goes off his hands, and we'll go back with Bonneville. This Laker team last year lost in the first round. Might have been the second round to Lehigh, the eventual champion. I actually had that game, but they bounced back nicely. Remember a year ago they didn't have Jordan City, or Surdy had been out with that injured knee and all kinds of stuff. But this team came back with a vengeance this year as Beau Dixon be up top as Region 5 was very hotly contested as Dixon's high floater won't go, and it's Lundberg pulling down the board.
Yeah, Lundberg, love watching this kid play, Dusty, and he's got a knack to go get rebounds. He's one of the top rebounders on the team.
Johnson on the drive. The sophomore loses the handle. And a loose ball picked up by Beau Dixon. Jake Williams sent back up top. They're going to work it around the perimeter. That's Jones off the dribble. Can't get it. And the rebound cleared by Heiden. Lundberg off the screen from Roberts. Actually had Roberts on the roll. Send out the 3 is good from Jaxon Heiden.
We talked about the big man, the opportunity to stretch the floor. He and Johnson both can do it, but that's a good sign. When Heiden see that ball go through early, it could mean big nights for Jaxon Heiden.
We got to give some love to this Alta student section. I mean, this is pre-Corner Canyon built Alta student section size.
This is like Olympus-esque, right? I mean, it's almost to the top of the bleachers.
And how about the 3 from Beau Dixon?
Yeah, great answer there for Bonneville. As talked about, you know, they can score and, hey, shooting the ball here pretty well early on.
When we got here, we talked about this triple stripe all being black, that it doesn't matter, as that is Jaxon Johnson.
That's the other 6'7". Yeah, that's the other 6'7" for Alta. So, again, the height showing the versatility here early for the Hawks.
Yeah, Heiden listing himself at 6'10". We'll give you a couple inches on that one. And then it is Jaxon Johnson as a sophomore. So you're going to lose one to keep another one. Is outside now going to Jones, gets around, Heiden rather, and lays that one up and in.
Crafty move there for the experienced Carson Jones. Just able to get that past the defensive Heiden.
Dylan Smith, and there's another big bucket. Dylan Smith, and that was a guy you mentioned in our preview.
Yeah, I think Dylan Smith is one of the real unheralded guys on this Alta squad, and when he gets going from the outside, he can be as locked down of a shooter as there is, but I love the attackfulness there and dealing with the defensive Dixon, who was right there with him.
Williams' pass was a little misread there between he and Nielsen. Oh, probably that's Tesh, because they had a change on that roster. So that errant pass from Tesh, and we're tied at 8, nearly midway through the first quarter. As that's Lundberg along the baseline, nice feed inside, and Heiden going to draw the foul. That will go to Matt Tesh, and it'll be 2 free throws here for Heiden.
Jet Lundberg does so many things. He's really tenacious defensively. He's seen the ability to drive there, and I love you're going to pull defenders down and leave that handoff for Heiden. Gets fouled on the take. There's so many ways that Alta can attack you offensively. What makes them such a difficult matchup for you is that drive, the outside shot, the mid-range, and then their defensive lockdown ability.
And Heiden goes 1 of 2, and Alta takes a slim 9-8 lead halfway through the first quarter. Game 1 of 8 on the day. As Dane and I will have you all the way through every one of these games. The girls' games this afternoon and evening. The boys will kick off things today.
We got great matchups on both the boys and girls brackets. This is going to be a fun day of basketball.
How about Tesh hanging on a pivot, can't get the finish. As come back the other way, Roberts did a nice job of getting that, putting the defender on his hip and then finishing.
Yeah, Mason Roberts, you know, he's had a good year this year for Alta. They were dealing with injuries. He's been called upon sometimes at more minutes, and you know this roster, we talk about Heiden and Johnson, Lundberg. Roberts, kind of one of the unsung guys for this group, does such a good job.
Jones goes at Heiden. He does not win that one. On the run with Lundberg. Jet to the lane. Sent back out, straight away Johnson. This Alta student section was ready to erupt as now we're going to have a loose ball foul against Bonneville.
You know, Dusty, really interesting start this game. Bonneville came out all sorts of emotion early, a couple early buckets. The bench was erupting. It felt good. It's been a while since they've hit a shot. Can they sustain that, get back to that energy, that momentum, and find more sustaining of that as they've cooled off here the last couple minutes?
But check that. The foul goes to Jet Lundberg. This is Beau Dixon in the lane. The fall away for Dixon is there. And that's 5 first quarter points here for Beau Dixon.
Yeah, I love using that little bump to help create that separation. It allows that fadeaway, a little bit more space. That's a nice move there by Beau.
Heiden off on the 3. That ball's out of bounds off of Bonneville. And we did a couple of replays mentally there before giving the signal, and it will be Bonneville basketball. Didn't get help from the outside on that.
Yeah, it looked like he was looking for help,
right,
and none to be found.
So Dixon comes off the screen, trying to put Campbell in the blender. And then that ball knocked out of bounds by Jaxon Johnson.
Talking about Jensen Campbell, we mentioned this late in the year, got hurt early in region play and has come back. It's great to see him work through that injury, and didn't quite know how long-term that might be, but good to see him back on the floor and one of the seniors on this Alta roster.
Beau Dixon We'll send back up top to Coy Dixon. Both Dixons have got threes in this quarter as Jones can't get separated for that shot. And it's another three for Coy Dixon, his second of the quarter.
All I know is right now both of these teams are like, hey, someone said it was tough to shoot up at the U, and they're kind of making us look bad, Dusty.
We did say the curtains are down as Campbell can't get that one to go. Quickly on the other end, Jones sent back out. Dixon pass up the three. Jake Williams didn't pull the trigger either.
Outside of the one play by Carson Jones, it feels like everything for Bonneville is being played kind of 12 feet and beyond.
Tesh leaves it for Williams. The three won't go, and the rebound cleared by Jet Lundberg.
A little bit of higher elevation up here on the hill as lungs get acclimated.
Jaxon Johnson's not feeling the burn of the thin air.
I mean, the other thing is an early morning, right? And I know you've got early morning practice on Saturdays, but first game out of the chute, 9:30. I've been impressed with the tenacity and the intensity that we've seen here early on.
Well, we've talked to a lot of coaches about playing this 9:30 game. It's kind of a catch-22. You don't know what you're going to have. That is Tesh drawing the foul. And I'll put Tesh at the line for 2 free throws, where it is kind of a crapshoot, but you expect your guys maybe takes a quarter from the wake up and get moving. And then there's the other team that's just, hey, rocking and ready to go.
Yeah, of course, tomorrow in the 6A, we've got a dandian of opener as well with Corner and Cypress being the 9:30 game. So, look, you don't want to miss the early games here at the U this week.
Well, I mean, tradition, remember, it was a 4-1 matchup that kicked everything off. And how many times we saw the 4 beat the 1 back in the old format?
Yeah. Eggs are still getting settled from the breakfast, and you know.
That's exactly. That breakfast burrito is kind of not settling yet. Yeah. As Tesh goes 2 of 2 from the stripe, and it's a 15-13 lead with 50 seconds left in the first quarter. As Lundberg going to come off that double screen. Lundberg sends out Smith, extra pass, Johnson, short down the barrel, and it'll be Bonneville basketball.
It's really surprised. I love the double screens up top, right? You get a 2-on-1 opportunity. I thought Lundberg maybe had the lob opportunity to give that play off, instead passes it out, and a long three. Look, it was one of the things we noted. It's always notable here at the U. 3 3-point lines. We're playing the inside one, but they're all the same color.
Yeah.
I was curious if that would affect them knowing we're playing the black, but it's the inside and how you try to deal with that mentally.
But really, anywhere we play right now is going to have the exact same situation.
Right.
We go inside of 10 seconds left in the quarter. Outside, Beau Dixon. And it's his brother, Coy. His third three of the first quarter. And that's how it comes to the close. The 5A quarterfinals are underway. And it's Coy Dixon with 3 threes in the quarter. And it's Bonneville with an 18-13 lead. You're watching the 2022 5A state tournament on KSLSports.com as we head to the second quarter. We'll be right back.
College wasn't built for me.
It didn't care if I had to work a double shift.
Or if my kid had a fever.
Deadline's a deadline.
I want to set the deadlines.
I want to take tests when I'm ready.
I want to take courses on my time.
And speed up when I know my stuff.
I want a university that cares about me.
Tests on your time, courses on your time, graduate on your time. WGU, the nonprofit university of U.
Dane Stewart, let's take a look at the 5A bracket, the road to Provo. And this is, if you're looking at the bracket, top left, we're not going to have it up. As intern Preston strikes again. But either way, Dane, that first quarter for Bonneville, I mean, if your last name's Dixon, you're lighting it up from the outside. That's 5 combined threes from the house of Dixon.
Yeah, really impressive start for them, Dusty. I mean, this Bonneville team, we talk about the defense, obviously, but you look at the ability to shoot the basketball from the perimeter, and man, it's a good way to start here. The Dixons from long range, they've been doing it all year. I mean, Beau 40%, Coy 33% beyond the arc, but they're looking sharp here early on.
There's Beau with Lundberg on his hip. So that was good on Lundberg not to draw the foul there.
Yeah, he actually got Lundberg in the air. Could have had the shot. That's to settle for a tougher one.
Beau couldn't get that one to drop. I thought he was going to go with the Trae Young play there and just pull up. and get Lundberg right on his hip. But off the miss, here comes Alta. Inside to Heiden, and a slow start here for Jaxon Heiden. Did hit that 3 early, gets around the defender and misses the bunny, and then picks up the foul. It'll be Bonneville basketball.
Well, that's one he wishes he would have back. That's a great move by Jaxon, right? The quick step around Brown, and just had that come off the front of the rim. And those are opportunities you got to seize in a playoff game when you have them.
Beau Dixon straight away with Jones. Jones on the drive. Heiden maybe got a piece of that, but got a piece of him after. It'll be 2 free throws here for Jones as Heiden quickly picks up his second personal foul of the quarter.
It was a quick first step there by Jones. Did a nice job of getting the edge. Heiden stayed right on him. It's just that big swipe late. If you can go vertical, that's going to be a tough enough shot. But that swipe ends up drawing the whistle, and free throws here for Bonneville.
And so glad it's not college basketball. We'd be in review right now whether or not Heiden gets to stay in the game.
Spending 15 minutes to determine we'll just play on with the call on the floor. Not that we have strong opinions about that.
At all. So Mason Roberts comes back on as Heiden will take the seat with the foul trouble. See what Coach Horn decides to bring back number 4. As Jones goes 0 for 2 from the stripe, and Tom Chambers' jersey hanging in the rafters went a little Chambers-esque. There's a Ute fan listening to the stream right now. He's either laughing or yelling at me.
He's probably yelling at you right now, yeah.
I'll get a red-faced text here in a couple of seconds. As Lundberg on the drive, send to the corner. The 3 from Campbell won't go. And Lundberg fouled by Beau Dixon to put Jet Lundberg at the line for 2 free throws.
Again, you see Lundberg with the drive. This time they kick out to the corner. His first step, boy, you can create a lot of options off of that. We've seen the driving kick. You got to hit those shots. Otherwise, they'll continue to collapse down and give that up. Alta hit him early. Can they get back to being able to knock those down?
As the first free throw is good. And Jake Williams will come back on. As Jones will get his first break of the first half. And Jet goes 1 of 2. So 4-point advantage for the Lakers. 6:35 on a rolling clock in the first half. Outside with Tesh. Coaching staff thought they had the look they wanted. Tesh didn't see it. As here comes Williams off the curl, and he'll retreat and reset the offense. Now, truthfully resetting the offense here with Beau Dixon. Dixon from way outside and couldn't get it to go. The rebound taken by Smith. Campbell. Cans a 3.
You know, it said early on, it felt like Bonneville a lot was outside. You've got Heiden on the bench right now. That last possession settled for another outside shot with the paint empty. Easy rebound, and Campbell makes him pay.
Tesh on the drive, can't get it to go. And the rebound cleared by Johnson.
Yeah, I love the mentality there, though, right? Again, recognizing, hey, we can attack, and I'd keep going right back at it.
Outside with Campbell. Johnson going into Lundberg. Post up the smaller guard line of Bonneville as Lundberg's trapped. Doing got the 5-second count. Oh, what about the thread inside? And Roberts +1.
How?
Threads the needle.
I mean, that's like.
Is that Ethan Jaxon down there?
There are quarterbacks that don't make that throw, Dusty. I think Roberts was a little surprised that ball got to him, but did a nice job to catch that and finish through contact.
And Roberts misses the +1. Johnson with the board. And then the ball goes off of Colin Crow.
Yeah.
Missed opportunity there for Alta.
Recognize he had the baseline, trying to be aggressive, attack it, just couldn't maintain the possession.
So a 19-18 lead for the Alta Hawks as Jones holds up top. Gives it up to Dixon. Can't get the three to drop. And the rebound pulled down by Crow. Campbell. Now Roberts going to lob it in, and Johnson with the easy two, and a timeout on the floor taken by Bonneville. It's an 8-0 run for the Hawks. Timeout on the floor. You're watching the 2022 5A state tournament.
30-second timeout.
Dusty Lister and Dane Stewart with you here at the Huntsman Center. Game 1 of 8 on the day, and this has been a fun one. Shots from the outside we talked about in our video. Sometimes you get to the Huntsman Center, usually get lost in space a little bit, but Dane, these two teams aren't lost anywhere.
No, I think they've both been really intense and locked in. We've seen, again, a lot of perimeter play, I think, from Bonneville, and if I'm in that timeout, I'm saying, hey, keep going at the rim, especially right now with some of the outside shooters. You can clear Johnson out of the paint. But again, this time a corner three, and that one rattled in.
Well, Jones breaks down the defense off the dribble, and then it's Jake Williams knocking down the three as Bonneville reclaims the lead. Jaxon Johnson. That's a D1 three from Johnson, and we're tied at 21.
I was going to say, the big thing for me if you're Bonneville is, with all the driving ability, you cannot help. You've just got to play better defense to not give up those driving lanes, because we talked about, Lundberg and some of the dribble penetration, but you're seeing those out the shooters again start to knock those shots down.
And Mywa Brown, +1. A nice find again from Jones. The leading scorer on the year for Bonneville. I don't know if he's on the board yet, but a beautiful dish and finish by Brown.
Yeah, and now you got to be careful. That's the first foul on Johnson. Heiden's on the bench with 2. Jackson's got to finish out the rest of these 4 minutes and not pick up another one.
And Brown misses the +1, and Campbell gonna pick up or draw the second foul on Brown as he comes away with the rebound.
Brown, his second personal. 4th Laker team foul. Returning for Bonneville, number 3, Joe Tesh.
As you see on the screen, the 4th team foul on Bonneville. Possession arrow belongs to the Hawks. Again, lob it into Johnson, he misses the bunny. And now on the run with the Lakers.
They've got a couple good looks off that same play. One that I think you'll continue to see Coach Orn dial up.
Jones again off the dribble and a finish. Beautiful finish there by Jones.
Told you Jones was going to have a big game, and I love that he has not been intimidated by some of the length. He's gone right at it. At times been benefited with fouls, but has gotten good looks against it.
Roberts off the pick and roll. Stays patient and again crawls off. This rim has not been kind inside the paint, and then the block going to be picked up by Smith. And I think a good call there.
Yeah, I thought he was late to try to establish positioning. It was a good call there to call the block. If you're out there, you got to feel like, man, we've gotten good looks, right? I mean, I can think of maybe 4 right at the rim that haven't been able to go down. Heiden had 1 or 2, and it's been one where you just got to stick with it despite that ball not dropping.
Well, that hurt Dixon. I don't know if it's an ankle or a knee, but Dixon an obvious pain there. So the foul picked up, but the junior guard, and Beau Dixon, you have to try to shake off whatever it is that's ailing him. So Coy Dixon goes to Jones, who's been a terror the last few possessions. And another blocking foul here on Alta. Campbell will pick up the foul, and it'll be one-on-one free throws for Carson Jones, much to the dismay of the black hole.
Yeah, that was one that Alta fans don't like, and one-on-one here for Carson. That's one that I could understand the perspective of the student section on, given where I'm positioned, but the official right there and calls the block.
And the one-on-one free throw is no good. So Alta the chance to take the lead with the bucket. As we crawl under 3 minutes left in the first half. Lundberg with a double team and a steal by Jones. Comes the other end, and Jones extends the lead. Defense leads the offense.
Yeah, that's a great job there by Bonneville. That's a great way to terminate those drives, right? If you come out, hedge it, take it away.
Crow turns it over. Tesh with the steal, and Alta discombobulated by this Bonneville defense.
Yeah, that time Crow just got caught a little bit late.
And Williams knocks down the three. Jake Williams' second three of the quarter. Dang, they're pushing 10 3, nearly, no, it's not all 10 threes. Was that 8 threes in the half?
It's been a lot. I'm not certain how many, but it's been a lot. And look, it's working right now. They've got the 6-point lead.
And a block and foul. Oh, a tough call going to go against Bonneville. Nate Burdett going to pick up the foul. But if you think of the three-point shooting, we know you got 3 from Coy Dixon, at least 2 from Beau, and now 2 from Williams.
Yeah, and you look at several of them, Dusty, have not even been like set shots. I mean, we've had a couple that have been kind of that runners just like that. Bonneville, when I had a chance to do them earlier this year, they shot the three well, but not like they have today. I think that be pretty pleased with that shooting percentage from long range here for the Lakers.
In the words of Larry David, pretty good here in the first half. And
he's never wrong on these type of things.
I love that commercial. If you watch Curb Enthusiasm, you love that commercial. Both free throws good there by Jet Lundberg. And a 5-point lead inside of 2 minutes left here for Bonneville, who, as we mentioned, just shot the lights out here in the first half, and not just one guy. Had a game earlier this week as incidental contact there with Smith on the foot. If I'm Bonneville the same way, it's like, is that not anything? And I think the officials come down saying, he stepped on his foot. We need some of our official friends to reach out with what the directive is there. So off the turnover, can Alta make it hurt? Roberts can lob inside to Johnson. Jaxon lays it up and in.
Well, that's a tough one. I didn't love that entry pass. You had help on the top, help underneath, and that's where the length can be just a differentiator. Bonneville does about as good of a job as you can do, and yet Johnson's still able to finish.
Coy Dixon. Up top to Tesh. Williams goes inside to Jones, faces up on Roberts. Oh, beautiful move and finish. Jones, hasn't scored a ton of points today, but he's been really effective in the second quarter.
I mean, he's showing already the matchup problem that is Carson Jones. You had height on him early, he beat that off the dribble. Now you go physicality, he's beating that with speed. He is a tough player to deal with.
And a board and bucket there for Jaxon Johnson. As Roberts off on the three, but Johnson cleans up the glass and gets the points.
How about the surges we've seen from each side here in this first half? They've each gone on 6-0, 8-0 runs, and Alta was just down by 6 a while ago, back to within 2 here.
Remember, no shot clock in Utah high school basketball
last
in this tournament.
Last week of that saying.
28 games to go.
I know some have reached out there. They're going to miss that, Dusty.
And there's some people that wear stripes that think it's a bad change in rules. I completely disagree, which doesn't surprise.
I don't think it's a bad change. I think they're worried about how you manage it, the management of it.
That's what we talked about. So 5 seconds. Whoa, deep three. Dixon off on it. The rebound to Johnson. 2 seconds, one at the horn. And that's how the first half will end. Bonneville getting it done from the outside. And Jones really effective in the second quarter. And the Lakers take a 32-30 lead against Alta at the half. You are watching the 2022 5A Boys State Tournament on KSLSports.com. Commentary brought to you by Game Night Live Rewind. And welcome back into the Huntsman Center. Dusty Litster and Dane Stewart. Halftime score. Bonneville 32 and Alta 30. Dane, a couple of players we knew in the post. Heiden went out with foul trouble. That plays really big here in the second half. What kind of plays are you going to have after having sat most of the second quarter?
Certainly, that can cut both ways, right? If you're an Alta fan, you think, man, we're down by 2, but our best player, our leading scorer, has not been on the floor very much, and so you think, can that lift you? But the other side of that is, what kind of rhythm he's going to be in. He hit that early 3. We saw him miss a couple of shots at the rim. in that second quarter before he went out. How comfortable is he going to be coming back in, having to sit so much on the bench? I think that's going to be a big factor in the second half.
Well, the other factor was Jones. Remember, the leading scorer on the year for Bonneville, quiet scoring-wise. But in that second quarter, he started scoring, but it was how he distributed off the dribble as he started going after the bigs.
Yeah, I thought he started to become a lot more aggressive, which is a welcome sign if you're a Laker fan. We talked about him attacking Johnson, him attacking Roberts as well. Right now, that's been a matchup problem if you're Alta. So, what do? Do you try to bring help defense and try to rely on them cooling off from the perimeter? Do you continue to try to rely on your man defense, your one-on-one against him? I think that's going to be something big to keep an eye on for the Lakers. Can Jones continue to find this success in those matchups on the interior in the second half?
Well, we're going to start with Alta here in the third quarter.
He's actually talking with Heiden here before we start the second half. Just for note, those two were a little conversation. Sure about where to go for brunch afterwards.
Park Cafe.
That's free sponsorship right there.
1300 South. You're welcome.
I don't know, the egg white grill at Chick-fil-A is pretty doggone good too, huh?
Roberts misses on the three. Heiden lucky not to pick up a loose ball foul because there is no such thing as over the back. He didn't go over the back.
Hey, look at you.
The official who was right there was the one that
this
taught
show's
us.
About education. So.
Yes, Hey, you know what? I got to teach a 6A coach on Friday night that there's not goaltending when a guy slaps the backboard in high school basketball.
I taught a 5A coach about over and back this week. So,
hey. This is why we made friends with some officials. Not all officials, we know.
Well, that's
as
not for
Lumber gets out poked
desire.
away from behind by Dixon. Tesh comes the other way. Good job by Lumber getting back on defense. It's good to see Beau Dixon back on the floor. Got hampered right there at the end of the half. As it's Williams. His third three of the morning.
Yeah, Heiden a little late on the closeout. I don't know if he wasn't expecting that, or he was maybe just a little hesitant off the switch to close out hard. Didn't want to give up that drive, but Williams able to step up and hit a big shot.
As Smith going to come off the screen of Heiden. Roberts couldn't get that quick find inside. It's Lumberg for three, and Jet knocks down the three ball, and here we go. We can pick it up right where we left off.
Yeah, nice response there by Jet. I was just thinking how good of a job the Bonneville guards have been on Lundberg today. We've seen him drive a couple times, but we've seen a couple steals and turnovers due to some of the defensive pressure that Bonneville's been able to throw at Lundberg today. They've done a nice job, this guard line has for Bonneville.
Surprised that they went to the switch to get Johnson off of the smaller Beau Dixon. As Dixon goes to the corner to Jones, they'll reset the offense here for the Lakers. And nobody home. He was going to Williams, who wasn't looking. He was looking at Coach and had looked away off the set and a turnover.
And it looked like Coach Bollinger was a little frustrated with Dixon on that. I mean, it looked like Williams was like, hey, I wasn't, that's not where it quite was.
Right?
And felt like that was the same message from the bench there.
So he might have thought we were going double horns. He didn't go double horns. Off the screen from Lumberg. Sends out to Heiden. Heiden goes at Jones.
It's a good recovery there by Jones.
Yeah.
I thought Heiden might have had that lane.
Understanding angles.
Yeah.
Must be really good at geometry.
Especially playing with a brace.
Three from Heiden, no, and the rebound taken by Tesh. Let's go at Jones. He faces up at Heiden. And got around him. Can't finish. Heiden hits the deck. Lumberg with the jump ball. Possession arrow will belong to the Lakers. Coach Horn wanted a reach-in foul.
Well, so this is interesting. Look, I'm a fan of consistency. I'm sitting up, 30 rows up. Remember, Jet got called for a similar foul back in the first half, right? Where he came around and the player kind of pulled him around, got called for a foul, and that time a dual possession there. So
he's a victim of the official rotation. Don't know if it was the same one.
That's a good termage. Yeah. Terminology.
Straight away. Dixon wide to the right, and it'll be Alta basketball.
I'll tell you, the distance was right on. I mean, if that was a line, that's a swish. Because it came right through the cylinder, just off target of the cylinder.
I didn't see if any extra doors opened up at halftime, but
I don't see the curtains blowing around. They look pretty steady.
Someone's wanting to go a little Wesley Snipes and White Man Can't Jump.
It is in line with the tunnel, Dusty, so
Oh, nice move by Heiden. He gave Jones a taste of his own medicine. But again, another bunny. That's about 3 there for Heiden at point-blank range that haven't gone down. Oh, and Lundberg with an old school NBA Live 1997 type of steal attempt there.
I didn't know they had a little stick move.
You didn't know that? If you turned off fouls in 97, you just ran them over.
Oh, shoot. Is that how you got an undefeated record in that game, Dusty?
No. Williams misses on the J. Come the other way. Lundberg off the screen from Heiden and just didn't go for the finish with Jones behind him. Smith misses on the 3, and again, the defensive board's working here.
Numbers.
Tesh with numbers. Williams reverse. No, he goes same side and lays it in.
I'll tell you this. I was curious about how Bonneville would deal with the length, but the physicality of Bonneville right now is winning out over the length. They've been stout in the blocks.
And Lundberg's second 3 of the 3rd.
Barely even moves the net. That's a beautiful shot there by Jet.
So still a 1-point game is a 3-point shooting from both sides. One has kept Bonneville in 2 possession distance, but out to shoot their way right back as Jones left that one short, and the Hawks with a chance to take the lead.
And one of the things about Coach Travis Orrin, when I first talked to him this year, said, hey, what kind of style do you run? He's like, we want to get up and down the floor. If I never have to call a set, that's a good thing. And you start to wonder if that's starting to wear away at Bonneville. It's tired legs, tired getting back. We've seen a couple of opportunities where Alta start push.
Go into Heiden, little baseline jumper is there, and the Hawks take a 38-37 lead.
Carson Jones right now looks tired. Short on the shot, closeout wasn't there, and I think Brown's getting ready to come on, I would guess for him, but.
And Beau Dixon, terrific job getting the defender on his back, take it right to the rim. And a quick timeout taken by Bonneville. 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here. And remind all of our fans is you can watch every game of the 5A and 6A boys and girls state tournaments right here on KSLSports.com. Dusty Litster and Dane Stewart will have the call for you all week long. And as always, we're brought to you by Heidemann and Associates.
Yeah, full-service law firm, locations along the Wasatch Front. They can even meet with you virtually. And if you have any legal needs, the experts at Heidemann Associates will take care of you.
Take a look at the road to Provo. We're here, Bonneville, Alta. So we'll go left to right today. So we'll go top, bottom, and then top, bottom on the other side. And the winner of this will take on the winner of Olympus Salem Hills coming up next.
Yeah, should be an interesting game. Olympus, of course, with the big trio, and Salem Hills, probably the team, Dusty, that nobody's really talked about. When you hear about 5A, you hear Orem and Tempview and Woods Cross and Alta. Salem Hills quietly finished, I think, second in that region. They were right there and putting together a strong run here in the state tournament.
Well, in Region 8, taking the sweeps of who has the most teams left. They got 3. Region 6 has 2.
Yeah.
Region 5 got 2 as well.
Yeah.
So pretty good disparity here.
You know, interesting, and of course want to thank Curtis Pettengill. He always does such a great job. Send us halftime stats, Dusty. First half, Bonneville was 6 of 10 from beyond the arc, 12 of 22 from the floor. If you're Alta, guys, let's start contesting. Those numbers are going to come down, right? And I think we've started to see that here in the second half a little bit. But
on the hands by Williams.
Another steal from Lundberg.
Heiden sized him up and got him on the reverse. Williams got the loose ball. It'll reset the offense here for the Lakers.
That's a great recovery by that Alta defense to not concede the 2 on the fast break.
Well, the great idea, hey, the right idea, reverse it, use the rim as protection, but Heiden with the go-go gadget arm still got the block. And Williams misses on the 3, and Lundberg pulls down the board. So Alta looking to regain the lead on this possession. As Jet Lundberg will reset the offense. Smith looking inside to Heiden, and yeah, we're going to have the foul before the lob in. Going to go against Tesh. I think that's his first. So the first foul of the third quarter.
Lundberg coming off here. This will be interesting for Alta. Running the point, how you try to deal with some of this Bonneville guard line.
Johnson quickly off the inbound, and Jaxon Johnson.
Just a sophomore. I mean, you can see He's got a really good foundation. He's going to be a fun player to watch the next couple of years.
And a player control foul up top on Smith.
His second. Team foul number 2.
As Dixon's pass goes off the foot of Campbell, Williams sends out. Cross court, Coy Dixon. 4-3. Man, you start that, feel like it was going to go steal, and it ends in a triple. Number 4 on the morning for Coy Dixon.
Alta frustrated. I mean, Dusty, that shot, it should have never happened. They had the basketball, lost it on their own accord.
Roberts, rather, on the lob, and the foul to Tesh, his second. And his second of the quarter will put Roberts at the line for 2.
His third personal. Second on the team.
And those are the threes you love, right? If you're a coach.
Yeah.
You're going to lose it.
Yep.
It's kind of a 5-point swing. As Jones will come back in for Tesh. Roberts knocks down the first.
This is a good substitution here by Bollinger. He's been off for the last minute or so. You get a late push here in the third, then another quarter break as you try to lengthen out this game or the eligibility of Carson Jones.
And Alta, as they've done at all their trips, Dane, they've gone 1 of 2 to the free throw line.
Tough at the line, and really both these teams have struggled. I think both under 50% at this point.
Myra Brown send out to Dixon. Coy from the other side. His 5th 3 of the morning, and a game in the state tournament he'll never forget. 5 threes for Coy Brown.
I'll tell you what, I mean,
or Coy Dixon.
They are utilizing screens away from the basketball right now. You got to fight through those. It's been a little casual defensively for Alta, and it's why you're getting some of these open looks. And Coach Orrin, not very pleased with the defensive tenacity he's been seeing from his bunch here.
As Jake Williams going to pick up the foul. Number 1 on Jacob. As Lundberg will come back on for Smith. This Alta team with high hopes, man, they're getting quite the battle from Bonneville. As there's the steal on the inbound by Brown. Here comes Jones. Jones sends out. And it is Coy Dixon's his 6th 3 of the day.
Dusty, he was 3 of 4 in the first half. He's at 3 more in the second. He might be 6 of 7 from long range right now.
Torch in the nets as Johnson short on the 3. Rebound to Roberts. Alta with a second chance opportunity. Sends straight away Heiden. 4-3.
They needed that. They need a stout defensive stop here to close out this third quarter, because right now, Bonneville, they're feeling good, Dusty.
Feeling really good. As Coy Dixon, all of his threes come in the odd number quarters. Remember, he had 3 in the first. Looking for his 4th of the third. 7 threes. And a mean mug to close it out.
Haven't 2 of them been at the horn or right before? End of the first, end of the third.
Coy Dixon is pacing Bonneville. The Lakers lead 51-44. We head to the 4th quarter. You're watching the 2022 5A state tournament on KSLSports.com. Start of the 4th quarter, Dusty Litster, Dane Stewart with you as Alta on the ropes, down 7 as Bonneville's. Coy Dixon absolutely torched the nets in that 3rd quarter, and it's a 7-point lead for the Lakers. Alta's got to find their offense.
Yeah, they do. And I mean, how about the defense there of Jones, just not giving up anything to Heiden? And I've been really impressed with how uncomfortable Bonneville has made Alta on the interior today.
Gonna lob into Heiden, pulls it down and lays it in. As Heiden starting to come alive, remember sat in that 2nd quarter with foul trouble.
Yeah.
That's 5 points here in the 2nd half.
They need him. They need him to get going. And even that play after making what most would consider an easy shot, you saw some emotion there because he has struggled from close range today.
Oh, and Lundberg gonna pick up the foul, going for the steal. And that'll be the 3rd team foul on the Hawks.
You know, Dusty, you talk about Coy Dixon, what he's done today. We think he's 6 of 7 from long range. January 7th, Green Canyon hit 6 threes, 18 points. He's at least at that today, and we still have another quarter to play.
Outside.
Much better job there dealing with those off-ball screens to take away that pass.
And it's Johnson having the call here on Beau Dixon. As Brown goes outside to Coy, give it back to Jones, goes at Heiden, got him on the move, reverses, no, left it short.
Had him too.
Coach Bollinger, he wanted that one.
Yep. Yep, he had Heiden beat. Just one he left short.
Wide open for Johnson. And the three is good. And just like that, it's a 2-point game. And Alta takes a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here in a 30-second timeout. Dusty Lister, Stuart Tane. This is why we said last night, and we were texting, I can't sleep the night before this first night, because we knew we'd have a game like this early on.
Yeah, man, what a battle, huh? I'll tell you what, and that's not an easy shot. I know it's uncontested, but you think about that as a sophomore, you're trailing in a game that somebody picked you to win. I mean, there's all sorts of pressure when Dane and Dusty start picking you. To be able to hit that shot uncontested, again, just a sophomore, but Alta, look, it's one of those where it's a shame, some of these quarterfinal matchups, because 6A and 5A are both so balanced. Teams that should be making deeper runs are going to leave the tournament early, and you got to lose sometime, right? But I think the way these two teams have played today, they could give a lot of teams a lot of fits. And it's been a great way to start the quarterfinals.
It certainly has. 6:20 left here in game one of the day. We got 4 boys games to start off the day, then 4 girls games to cap it off. The winner will take on the winner of Olympus Salem Hills as Jones.
How about
his
Campbell?
Ball skills, man.
Campbell going to the deck to try to save that, and Alta able to recover defensively. Talk about desire.
He can feel the momentum. As Beau Dixon dribbling through the defense, sends out. Tesh on the drive, hangs, no call on the contact, and Heiden clears the board.
Well, you see the hard closeout and what that creates for Bonneville. Just another possession where they can't finish the deal.
Lumberg comes off the screen. Johnson off on the 3, tipped out by Smith, taken by Lumberg.
How about that? Great effort there by Dylan Smith to keep the possession here for the Hawks.
Here comes a double screen up top, Lumberg. Lob inside, and it's Heiden laying it in. And we're tied at 51.
He almost gave that look like he was going to kick it out again, but instead able to find Jaxon on the weak side and Heiden with the finish.
Same look you saw in the first quarter.
Yep.
Dixon left it short, rebound to Heiden. Big man on the run. And unlike Hassan Whiteside, he's not going to get to the rim on that play. And I think correctly called here on Dixon. And it'll be the 4th or 15th foul on the Lakers.
I always try to read officials' body language to get a sense where it's going to go. I thought at first that was going to go the other way. My jaw dropped. The official there, I thought, made the right call as well with the block.
And a timeout on the floor, full timeout. We'll take it with him. You are watching the 2022 5A state quarterfinals on KSLSports.com.
Jake said these are awesome for studying.
Line. You shouldn't ever take someone else's medication.
Know your script. Talk to your kids about the dangers of sharing prescriptions.
.453 left in game 1 of 8 on the day here in the quarterfinals. Dusty Lister and Dane Stewart with you. Alta with the basketball tied at 51 in what has been a doozy of a state tournament game.
It has been. Bonneville, look, they've been swimming in the koi pond. They need Coy, right? They need him to hit some shots here late as Lundberg. Again, you see the dribble penetration. So much Alta's worked off of that today, and it will be jet here to the line.
You saw Dixon on his back there with the foul, and it's because Dixon was trying to play the pass too.
Yeah.
He got behind him. It's like, even though he has a clear path to the rim, he might try to dish that off, and Dixon picks up the foul. There's Jet at the line. Knocks down the first.
I don't want this to come across as me being slanted. I'm trying to. How about Alta in the lead in this game? With the way Bonneville has shot it, they had an 8-point lead near the end of the third. As missed free throw, but great job coming back by Alta and continue to try to put that pressure on Bonneville.
The free throw line has betrayed the Hawks here in this one. They've gone, I think only once have they gone 2 for 2 from the stripe. Jones has on slapped out by Lundberg, and again, we're going to be glad we're not in the collegiate ranks to be reviewing that. I might be off of Bonneville if we were.
I was really surprised that Jett was playing off of Coy in that situation to try to help. I'm like, man, I would lock Coy down, but
keep going under.
But at least, you know, that help and not allowing the drive to happen. So obviously Jett knowing more than I do.
Oh, great set, and it was Williams right at the rim. Beautiful find by Tesh. They wanted to foul for Williams on the drive, and they keep it here. Ball out of bounds off of Alta. Again, inside, it's Jones, kiss it off the window. 53-52 as we got the seesaw opportunity off the scoreboard.
Jones did a nice job hedging there again, not allowing Lundberg to get around the edge. See again.
Timeout taken by Coach Horn with 3:57 to go in the fourth quarter. 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here as we got quite the day, Dayton. This is game 1. Game 2, we got Olympus Salem Hills. But this 5A tournament, as we talked about in our bracketology, if you haven't seen it, go to KSLSports.com and watch it. This 5A tournament, I mean, we know Olympus prevailing favorite coming into it, but it still feels very, very open.
Yeah, it does. You know, I think a lot of people may not be impressed with what I don't want to say that, but I think Alta, you know, they scored 79 points in the second round. Today they're you know, in the low 50s. That's not surprising to me, you know, knowing how good Bonneville is. You look at an Orem team that I think early on they were number 1. A lot of people had them pegged as the preseason favorite with all their experience coming back and their defense, what Coach Wildeboer has done there. That they're still going to have something to say to this. And of course, Timpview and Woods Crossman, there's a lot of teams that Murray, I think that Murray team can do something special this year, Dusty. Yeah. So there's some great teams, and it's going to be a heck of a week, and can't wait to see it play out.
That's a foul on Jones and the 16th foul on the Lakers. And you're right. And by the way, if you haven't seen Chudy Onosike play yet,
and I'll add this, Dusty. I was talking with a coach this last week. He said Chudy right now is a D1 defender.
Yeah.
And as much as we talk about his growth offensively, he said his growth defensively is what's really been impressive last year to this. So, I mean, he's an all-around basketball player and can't wait to see him later today.
Drop inside to Heiden, kick out to Johnson for 3. He's short, good contest there by Dixon.
Yeah.
He may be well shy of getting to his head, but he definitely contested that shot, because that was short by Johnson.
Of course, you won't see many of those in our next matchup.
Off the steal, and Campbell not going to get the foul call, out of bounds off of Jones. Inbound on the baseline.
Love the hustle there by Carson. Every point right now so important. There's just a couple minutes to go. Got a lot of Titan triples waiting in the tunnel, waiting to come out here.
This is inbound into Smith. Heiden outside with Jones, goes near side to Campbell. He'll pull for 3 and miss. And the rebound taken by Jones. Bonneville the chance to make it a 2-possession game with a 3 ball. As Beau Dixon has back to Coy. Will reset the offense, nearing 2:45 left in the fourth quarter. One team going home, one moving on. Tesh at Heiden, got around him, missed it at the rim. That's out of bounds off of Tesh. So 2.5 to go in a 1-point game. Where do the Alta Hawks go for the offense here? Lundberg get up to Johnson. Sophomore hands it back to Jett. Johnson on the drive off the bump, no call.
Wow.
Here comes Jones, and he's going to reverse out. Oh, he got Tesh wide open. And remember, with no shot clock, these guys play a little bit different. As we go inside of 1:50 left in the fourth quarter. Brown inside to Tesh, and we're going to have a block. Yeah, Smith took away the airspace there. And it'll be a block, and it'll be just the 14th foul on the Hawks. They went down along the baseline.
I was surprised on this other end, kind of shoulder-to-shoulder contact. And, you know, I don't know if they're saying, hey, that's neutral. Both ways are going at us. We're just going to play through. But there is that old saying, right? Playoffs, physicality tends to go up. Got to be able to deal with that and play through it.
Williams with Lundberg.
How long do you let this play out if you're Alta? You've only have 14 fouls, so you're a ways away from shooting here, and that clock ticking down.
Well, I think Bonneville feels the same way.
Yeah.
Coach Bonneville says, hey,
hit
hold
it, Dusty.
Hey, remember, no shot clock this year in Utah High School basketball.
There it is, yeah.
And they got to give up 3 more fouls for anything to matter. And Bonneville has no reason to put it in the air. As finally the foul going to be given there to Smith.
You just had 27 seconds come off the clock.
Yeah.
Since we brought the point up.
And you want to know why I've been such a proponent for the shot clock? It's this. Play good defense, and what's your reward? And on top of it, if you're Bonneville, and I'm not blaming Coach Bonneville. Hey, the rule's there.
I'll tell you this.
Make him work it.
We have had coaches tell us, I can't wait for a shot clock. But in these moments, what do? This.
Yep.
Because, hey, I would rather have the ball than give it to them. So.
Yeah, make him go after it.
Yes.
As we go inside of a minute. Oh, Lundberg nearly had the steal. Brown. And here's the thing for Alta, they got to extend the game sooner or later. Heiden's not the one who wants to do it. And now the foul to Heiden.
I'll tell you, I had a conversation with the coaches last week. I'm like, when do you foul? Because I get the defense. We want to create a steal or a turnover, but I think players gotten so good with ball handling and passing that it's not like it used to be. And so you end up wasting 40 seconds without ever getting the ball back.
Oh, we got a former Division I assistant watching. Oh, there's a steal by Lundberg. Ball's loose, taken by Alta. And then a timeout going to be granted to Orn before everything. That bucket doesn't count. The timeout was granted when they hit the deck. And Alta came away with the basketball. So it'll be Alta ball inbounding on the sideline near side.
And this is why I'm up here. I'm just ragging on, go foul, right? And what happens? Jet Lundberg, who he said can be a pill defensively, able to create the steal and a heck of a play.
Oh, it's going to be crazy. Timeout on the floor, 40 seconds left. We'll be right back. You're watching the 2022 5A quarterfinals.
College wasn't built for me.
I didn't care if I had to work a double shift.
Or if my kid had a fever.
Deadline's a deadline.
I want to set the deadlines.
I want to take tests when I'm ready.
I want to take courses on my time.
And speed up when I know my stuff.
I want a university that cares about me.
Tests on your time, courses on your time, graduate on your time. WGU, the nonprofit university of you.
40.4 left. It'll be Alta basketball. I'm a little surprised they're going underneath here, so they'll be on the baseline with Alta. And one where Coach Orn, I know he wanted to make sure at possession, he had to lay up in the lead.
Yeah, but you also have a player that's on the floor, can't dribble, can't roll, with late help coming. I don't fault the timeout either.
Just tough timing. As there's Johnson on the drive. Johnson got it to go! He thought he'd get a +1, but it went anyway. 54-53, 20 seconds to go. Brown, oh! Good timeout.
Notice how he waited until the result before that evaluation.
This is why I can't sleep the night before, Dane. We're going to keep it here because this game, if you're just joining us, this game has been 5 points at most.
Yeah.
If I remember right.
I think it got to 6 or 7, Bonneville, near the end of the third.
Oh, man. That's right, yeah. It was a 7-point lead going into the fourth quarter as it was Coy Brown and the odd quarters. Coy Brown with 7 threes. Coy Dixon.
Yep. You're good.
Yeah. First quarter, third quarter.
Yeah.
And then here in the fourth, I mean, it's been Jaxon Johnson young sophomore here in the second half has been outstanding for Alta. He and Jet Lundberg leading the way to come back here for and take the lead for the Hawks.
I'm watching that play fold out. I'm like, I don't know that that's the shot that Alta wants. Johnson running. He's a good shooter, but it's a tough shot on an angle off the glass and able to get the roll. If you're Bountiful, I knew I was going to do that. Wrong Region 5 team. If you're Bonneville here, Dixon has not shot it for the entire fourth quarter. Yep. You don't need 3. I'm looking to go back inside. Look at Carson Jones. Look at Tesh. Look at Williams. Try to get that ball near the rim. We've seen them beat Alta off the dribble inside. I go right back to the well here if I'm Bonneville.
Brown goes into Jones. Jones on the drive. Got around the defenders. Can't get it to goal. And Lundberg saves it. Bounce to Williams. Timeout.
He was out of bounds. No, he was out of bounds.
Oh, out of bounds. That's a late whistle.
There's so much going on there. I didn't know if it was going to be inbounds or not. You're talking about, I was also thinking they were going to call timeout. I mean, I think there was just a ton you're having to unpack in that moment.
Yeah, because they didn't reset the clock either.
No.
So 10.8 left. Lob into Jones with 10. Tesh, or probably that's Williams. And it goes with 6. Timeout, granted, there'll be one timeout left for Alta. Coach Orrin, I think he wanted to get to midcourt and take another. There's 6.8 seconds left. They got to put time back on this clock.
No, I don't think so, because it doesn't happen when it's the bucket.
But he took it well before, though.
Well, but it's when it's recognized, right? And I don't know how quickly they recognize it, that being on the opposite end of the floor.
Well, officials are getting together because it kind of stopped after anyway. They're going to have to reset this clock. We'll see.
Yeah, I have no idea.
But, man, Williams, this rim is not one of those point-blank shots to go down easily.
No.
And they're not putting any time back on the clock. So it'll be out the ball with 5 seconds to go.
To your point, you've got Alta has one more timeout. So if you want to advance to the front court and take it, that's fine, but you're done. That being said, you only got 5 seconds. So what's it to save it for, right? It wouldn't shock me if that's what you draw up here, but
baseball
do
pass
it
to midcourt, take the timeout, right? Or do you go well, we'll see. It'll be Johnson to inbound. And no one on the passer for Bonneville.
Wow.
And then they'll take the timeout.
And that's their last, which is risky in and of itself. Because they score here, the clock runs.
Right. Yeah, remember, the clock
you can't stop it with a second or anything, so Bonneville going all in here on the defensive end.
So just we got a full timeout, but we'll still keep it here. Again, game 1 of 8 here on the, usually we say the first morning of the state tournament, but we're in the quarterfinals. 2 wins to get to the new setup, to get to the site, as everyone calls it. And, man, it feels good to be back. It feels good to be back at the Huntsman Center. Last year we did have fans out at the Salt Lake Community College, but it just feels good back here as you see the road to Provo.
You ready for something interesting? And, yeah, that's a nice graphic. Preston did a really good job on that this year.
Yeah.
The Alta student section was about 6 rows higher, Dusty. It's all been compacted.
Right.
As they are trying to cheer on their team to a semifinal berth.
Well, and the Olympus fans are just joining in on Bonneville here.
Well, so the Olympus fans started kind of cheering with Bonneville, and I was like, I don't think that means what you think it means. And but both student sections now making quite a bit of noise for the respective sides.
So it will be Johnson to inbound. Heiden down the other end of the floor. No one on the passer.
And they got Tesh standing right at midcourt. So he's defending that front court entry.
So Lundberg with 3. Lundberg loses the handle, and that will do it. Bonneville moving on. The Lakers knock off Alta 55-54. What a way to kick off this week.
Wow. I am surprised at that play. And look, I don't blame him. You do have the one timeout. You could have gone front court entry, but Lundberg, you know, you get a hand on the ball early, you disrupt the rhythm and flow, and it's tough to regain that without having your dribble to recover. The Bonneville defense, Dusty, we talked about it. It delivers for the Lakers, and Region 5's on to the semifinal.
Dan, who is your Heiden Associates player of the game?
Man, that is really, really tough. You know me. I'm going to give it to a couple. Yep. I think Beau Dixon, what he did was huge to help give Bonneville the early lead in that one and to hold off this Alta team. I'm going to go Coy. I'll go single. I'll go Coy. I think there's really 3 or 4 guys, right? To meet Tesh, Williams. Tesh is making one of those defensive plays. Williams obviously has the game winner. I think what we saw from Carson Jones today was really impressive. I don't know how to give it to the whole starting lineup, so we'll give it to Coy. I'm trying to restrain myself. It's a new year for Dane. Beau Dixon, our player of the game.
Oh, 55-54. Bonneville knocks off Alta. Alta, a spectacular. Coach Orton, his first year with the Hawks, an outstanding run, get to the quarterfinals, and comes up just short, but a huge win for the Bonneville Lakers. And we're just about 23 minutes away. Game 2 coming up. It'll be Olympus and Salem Hills, but again, our final score, it is Bonneville 55, Alta 54. Our Heiden Associates player of the game, Coy Brown, Beau Dixon. Did it all day long, but we'll get it right for the semifinals. But again, congratulations to Bonneville on the win. And moving on in the 5A quarterfinals for Vince Francis and Dane Stewart, I'm Dusty Lister. Thanks for joining us and watching the 2022 5A quarterfinals right here on KSLSports.com. You'll be with us all week long. Game 1 of 28 this week, but all of them will be right here.